Hello, my name is Wally, and these are the top 5 movies that I liked this year or enjoyed this year. There's a bunch of movies I didn't get to see, so sorry, they're not gonna make it on this list, but these are the movies that I saw and I enjoyed. We're gonna go from 5 to 1. Number 5 on this list, let's just get started, is Dune. This was just a really well-made movie. The visuals and the acting were very good. The reason it's at number 5 for me is because it didn't feel finished, you know? If you've seen this movie, it ends with Zendaya's character saying, "This is only the beginning," or some shit like that. And that was at the end of the movie, which I was just like, dude, come on, I'm ready for some more movie, but now I gotta wait. So it was, you know, as far as entertainment, it was good. The world that Denis Villeneuve created here just looked really nice. It was real. It's a sci-fi, but it looked grounded and real. Even the way it was shot, I was like, wow, this is a cool take on a sci-fi film. So the world he created was really good. And yeah, this movie got me pumped for a sequel. So I'm ready for that. And that's number 5 here. Number 4 on my list is Being the Ricardos. So I just recently saw this film. I'm a Sorkin fan. I like his style of writing, the fast, witty dialogue. And to perform that stuff, you need good actors. And he got some really good actors for this movie. Of the two characters, of the two main characters, which is Nicole Kidman as Lucille Ball and Javier Bardem as Ricky, or Desi Arnaz. Javier Bardem, he stood out to me. He was just, his performance had me thinking like, and kind of forgetting like, what does the real Desi Arnaz act like? What does he seem like? Because the way he performed it was different, but it just like, it's still, you could feel that it was that person. And I think he performed that really well. The movie as a whole, it made me feel things I wasn't really expecting to feel, you know? I mean, obviously it's a Sorkin film, you know what you're getting into with that, but the line, "Lucy, I'm home," which is very iconic from the original television show, just has a totally different meaning for me now, and I'm sure if you watch it, it will for you as well, because Lucille Ball's struggle really is, yeah, she's rich, she's famous, she's got it all, but she never really feels like she has a home. Like she has all these houses in Hollywood, but she's never had her own home. And for her, the definition of home is pretty much, you know, where her family is and stuff. And where she spent most of that time was pretty much on the set of their show and being with Ricky or Desi Arnaz. And, you know, it's pretty tragic. I don't know if you know the history of these people, but he was kind of like a womanizer, cheated on her and stuff. She ended up leaving him, so. But yeah, the performances were really good in this movie. And as a I Love Lucy fan, I would suggest watching this or recommend it if you're a fan as well. Number 3. This is a weird one. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Pretty high up here, it's at the top 3, but it's because I don't really remember ever watching a 4-hour movie all the way through and just being completely locked in like I was with this movie. And I was just watching it in my room, you know, like I didn't get a theater experience or anything, but this movie had me locked in. I don't know if it was due to the fact that this movie had like a whole campaign behind it trying to get it made, and like that was like intriguing. Like I wanted to see what they could do with this movie. I don't know if that's what made me enjoy it so much, but I did really enjoy it. And comparing it to the original theatrical cut, it's just way better. It is way better. And I feel bad for Zack Snyder because like he had like a tragedy happen to him during the making of his movie. So they had to, you know, he had to step down and they replaced him with Joss Whedon, who just, I don't even know what the fuck he was making when he made that theatrical cut. But Zack Snyder got his time to shine and show us the movie that he wanted to make, and it paid off. He made a really well Justice League movie, and it made me feel like, dude, if this is a Justice League movie that we can get, if you don't fuck with the director and let him just, you know, fuck with his vision, just let him fuck with his vision. It was a good movie. For me, the standout in this film was Cyborg, Ray Fisher. That dude can act. I feel bad for that guy because he's a good actor, but I feel like he kind of like blacklisted himself by trying to attack WB and shit. But you know, I'm not getting into that. That's like politics of movies and shit. He had like a whole little origin story in this, and it made you realize why he wants to be a hero, which was good. And in both movies, this scene is in it. It's when they fight Superman, and come on, it's the Justice League fighting Superman. That's just too cool. So that's number 3, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Number 2, this is one that I got to see in theaters too, was Ghostbusters Afterlife. This was just awesome. I'm not like a crazy Ghostbusters fan. I've seen the originals when I was a kid. I haven't revisited them since, but I could just totally feel like the Ghostbusters-ness in this movie. Like this movie was made with like love and care. Obviously it was directed by the guy whose dad, I don't know their names, man. I'm not like that big of a movie buff, but whatever Reitman was the director of this movie, and you could tell he gave it his all, man. He wanted Ghostbusters fans to feel feelings. The standout in this one was the little girl Phoebe. She was funny, man. Like, she was hilarious. Her little bit of like telling jokes terribly, it was just like, usually I'd be annoyed of shit like that, but the way she delivered it or like performed it was good. It worked for me. The other standout in this film was the mom. See, I'm not good with character names or actor names, but the mom in this movie was funny. My favorite bit from her was when Finn Wolfhard's all like looking at his phone and he's like, what, no bars? And then she's like, there's gotta be at least one bar in this town or some shit like that. That was funny, and it made me realize how I can relate to these kid actors. Like, it made me feel like a kid again watching this, because like you're going on this journey with these kids, these kid Ghostbusters. And then it also made me feel my age, because like I could relate to like the adults in this movie as well, like the mom wanting to go to a bar or some shit. And then, yeah. Oh yeah, and then Paul Rudd's in it. He plays Paul Rudd. Always good to see Paul Rudd. Few honorable mentions. I have 3. I don't know why they didn't make the list. If I could make a bigger list, I'd probably put them on here, but me not seeing as many movies, I don't think it'd be fair to make like a top 10 if I've only seen 10 movies. But honorable mentions would be West Side Story. Steven Spielberg knocked it out of the park. Those actors, very great performances. Like, if you can act and sing like Rachel Zegler, you're gonna have a bright future in this career or whatever you're doing. Keep going. Eternals, that movie got botched. A lot of people hated it. I think a lot of people hated it, but I thought it was pretty interesting. It would have like worked better, I think, as a series. Like, man, if this was like a season 1 and they had 6 hours to tell this story, it would have been way better. But as far as entertainment, I had fun watching this movie. It was like one of the first movies I saw in the theater again in a while, so I was pretty pumped. I had the whole thing. I had the beer, the popcorn, and the Butterfinger, so that was a good movie experience. As far as the movie, it was good. And then this one, this third one on my honorable mentions, I didn't see in theaters, but I did watch at home. Thank you, HBO Max, was King Richard. This is like probably the only movie that I have on my list that'll probably be nominated for like an Oscar. I don't really fuck with the Oscars anymore. I think that shit's kind of boring and pretentious. I feel like I'm being pretentious by making this video, because who the fuck cares about what I think about movies? But yeah, King Richard was good. Will Smith, as always. I don't love the guy. He's not like my favorite actor, but he always puts in good performances when he's on screen. And it was just a good, like, I would watch this movie if I had a family. This is like a good family film. It's it's a family drama, but then it kind of just shows how much this family really cares about each other. And it was a feel-good movie for me. But we are here. We made it to number 1. I'm pretty sure you can guess what my number 1 movie of this year was. Shang-Chi. No, just kidding. Nope. Spider-Man No Way Home. Spider-Man No Way Home was my favorite movie this year. I don't feel like I have to explain it, but I'm going to. This movie is number 1 because I didn't expect this one to work, and holy shit did it work. Man, having this many characters in a film is usually just a clusterfuck, but it was so balanced. Like, I watched it twice in the same weekend, and I was like, dude, it's still good. I want to watch it a 3rd time, honestly. But yeah, usually, like, to me, or even like in general, if you watch trilogies, the 3rd one usually isn't gonna be the best one. Like, it's not gonna be the standout. I can't even think of any situations where that has happened. Like, everyone always compares trilogies to like Star Wars and how Empire's the best, or Dark Knight trilogy where the Dark Knight's the best, or is Back to the Future 2 the best one? You know what, never mind. I think Back to the Future 3 might have been my favorite. So maybe it's a rare case where this happens, but this movie is the best one in the Tom Holland trilogy. That boy can act. He delivered, man. Every scene, the fun ones to the sad ones to the dark ones, this kid's good. His best performance to me that I've seen was Devil All the Time. He's fantastic in that film, but in this one, he kind of brought that same energy. There's like a darkness to Peter now, not lame darkness like Bully Maguire shit, but the darkness here, it has reason, and it worked for helping the story move forward. Yeah, so a lot of people, like, no movies are perfect. A lot of people are saying like this movie's like the first half is slow or boring. I didn't think that at all. I thought it was still entertaining. The first half was a lot of setup to like the biggest payoff for me in a movie. Like, yeah, Endgame had a really big payoff at the end of that. That was sick. But I think me personally, I've just been a Spider-Man fan like forever. And to see my 3 Spider-Men together on screen together, it was just That was fucking chef's kiss. And they weren't cameos either. They had big roles to play in this movie in the last half. This is how you do it. This is how you bring these universes together and make it work. I would suggest watching this movie if you've seen all the Spider-Man movies, and even if you haven't. I watched the second time with my cousin. Hasn't seen any of the Spider-Man movies, but he said he was still entertained by this, and it's kind of making him want to watch Doctor Strange now. So coming from a guy that's not into the MCU, kind of being intrigued to watch some more, I think, yeah, this movie could do it for you. But yeah, this was hands down the best movie experience I had in 2021. Spider-Man No Way Home, I love you. Thank you for making this movie, John Watts and MCU crew, whatever. Let's get more movies like this. This movie was, okay, one more thing before I go. This movie felt like, this trilogy as a whole, it felt like the longest origin story for Spider-Man ever. Like first one, second one, and then this one, it just feels like a long origin story because at the end of this, you get to see him in his like classic Spider-Man suit, and he's no longer Iron Man Jr. or whatever, like how people were complaining about him in the other ones. In this one, he does become Spider-Man, which is, I'm looking forward to if they make more of these movies with this guy, with Tom Holland. So, all right, so I have been talking for a while. I haven't drank water yet this morning, and I'm gonna try and edit this and get it out to you guys. This is just my list. Don't hate on me. If you have a list, put yours down below. You know, let's chat in there. See you guys in 2022 for some more movies. Hopefully I'll have a top 10 instead of a top 5.